What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning into the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social sphere at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day, and today is Sunday, January 4th, another weekend and another Packers loss. We end the regular season with a 16-3 defeat to the Minnesota Vikings, mostly getting out of this game unscathed. My man C Roots in the chat asking about Javon Bullard. Yes, Javon Bullard did go down with an injury, but he was seen after walking around on the sidelines, no problem with his helmet. He said after the game his knee is fine, so I think he'll be good to go for next weekend. The other guy, Bo Melton, was the other injured player with a knee. He did not return, and although we aren't very fond of him being out there as a receiver, right, over some other guys, he is a great special teams player, so we will have to monitor that as the week gets going. All in all, nothing too much to harp on, right? We rested most of our main guys. Clayton Tune was basically out there just handing the ball off. 16-3 was your final score, and we finished the regular season 9-7-1. So not the best regular season of all time, right? But it doesn't matter anymore, right? It is playoff football time. Everybody is 0-0. I know Matt LaFleur was echoing that same sentiment in his post-game presser. Everybody's 0-0. It's a good reset. We are going to find out who we play after today's games. The Bears are playing the Lions right now, and if they win, we are heading to Soldier Field to face Chicago. If the Eagles win, they're playing the Commanders, and the Bears lose. We need that combo to happen to go out to Philadelphia. So it's either Chicago or Philly. Going into Chicago and ending their season would be pretty sweet. I will say so myself. Anybody planning on going to the game next weekend, assuming it's probably going to be in Chicago? Maybe it's in Philly. Maybe you're just all in, whether it's in Chicago or Philly. If you don't have tickets yet, do not buy your tickets anywhere else other than TickPick. They guarantee the cheapest Packers tickets on the market, and if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will refund you 110% of your money back. Same tickets as everybody else, and TickPick is the cheapest every single time. Use the code Packers22 for an extra $22 off the already cheapest tickets on the market. Shout out to TickPick. They are the best in the biz. Let's hop into the comment section here, shall we? And as always, if you want to be a part of the show, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 319-242-2332. The Midwest personal injury law firm that actually shows up when you need them. If you've been hurt in a crash, fall, or another accident, the last thing you want to deal with is the insurance companies and paperwork. Nicolet Law takes that off your plate so you can focus on healing up. They walk you through your options, they handle the insurance companies, and fight to get you what is fair. No upfront fees, no guesswork, just local attorneys who have your back. Call 1-800-NICOLET or visit nicolet.com. My man Phil in the house. My man Phil was at the game today. I need a vibe check, Phil. How was the game? How was being there? Was it as bad as what it felt like watching on TV? Because it seemed pretty bad, I will say. Phil, hope you had yourself a great time at the game today. Nonetheless, Wheeling MVP, tough watch, but second row. It's pretty sick. You're right down there in the action. Glad you had a good time. What else we got? My man Paul in the house. Well, that was sad. Paul, it was something, right? That's for sure. Pretty uninspiring game, and we all knew that going in, right? I think what's disappointing is Matthew Golden finally getting some targets, and he finishes the day with 2 drops. Other things being Jordan Morgan didn't have his best game. Dallas Turner was pretty much just getting after anybody he was lined up across from. Other than that, I honestly thought the defense did fine. JJ McCarthy left the game early, so we saw Max Brosmer for the majority of it today for the Vikings. And all in all, it was pretty pointless. The Viking season was over. This game has no repercussions, of course, for our season. We are already in the playoffs, of course. But hey, it's a clean slate. We are 0-0, just like every other team in the playoffs. So good reset. And next week, it's win or go home. So we're going to have ourselves a pretty wild upcoming week, especially if we are going to be going to Chicago. Let's just say that. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you for hopping in. Mario, whether we face Swift and Monangai or Barkley, we are cooked if the rush defense is the same as it did against Baltimore. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting scenario or situation to see how the Packers, mainly Jeff Hafley, throw together some sort of game plan to be better against the run. Because, yeah, it doesn't matter who we play, right? Like you said, if our defense is Swiss cheese like we were against Baltimore, nothing else really matters. So hopefully we will have some sort of game plan, whether we go against Barkley, whether we go against Monangai and Swift. Hopefully it's anything better than what it was against Baltimore last week. So thank you, Mario. Appreciate you for hopping in. What else we got, my man? Shane in the house. Initial thoughts on Trayvon Diggs. I thought Trayvon did just fine, right? He was only out there for a little bit. But assignment sound, no huge mistakes, and he didn't get injured. So I know he got paid $60,000 for today's game, which nice little chunk of change for hopping out there for a few drives, right? What else we got? Liam. Still doesn't feel like we are playing in the playoffs next week. Liam, it doesn't feel that way because we are on a 4-game skid. We have not won a game since Keyshawn Nixon picked off Caleb Williams to beat the Bears at Lambeau Field almost a month ago. December 7th, if I remember correctly, was the date of that game, and it is January 4th. So we have had almost a month go by. We've had Christmas. We've had New Year's. All that happened since the last time we've won a game, and yet still we are going to the playoffs. We have been suffering body blow after body blow as Packers fans, starting with that Denver game, right? Micah goes down. Jordan gets a concussion in the Chicago game. Bears take back the NFC North and win the division. So many other injuries to key guys, and still, yeah, we are in the playoffs. Win or go home next weekend in either Philly or Chicago. It's wild. But with nobody else in the NFC looking like a juggernaut, at least in my opinion, again, I think is an average NFC. The Seahawks are the 1 seed, so if we do win next weekend, we are going to Seattle to play Sam Darnold and the Seahawks to go to the NFC championship game. So it doesn't seem real, to be honest. What else we got, King AJ? I'm sad to see Rodgers potentially last game tonight. Also, I saw more fight in Sorrell in 2 hours than I have from Gary in the last 8 games. King AJ, you and Ryan are in lockstep here. Ryan says Baron Sorrell really impressed me today. Same with Nick Beagle. Baron Sorrell looked better than Gary has in weeks. That is because he was better than Rashawn, right? In the last 2 months. Baron Sorrell was one of the few bright spots from the game today. He had a sack, he had a fumble recovery, he had a TFL. I hope he gets some real run in the playoffs, specifically over Rashawn Gary, because Rashawn has registered 0 of those things in the last 8 or 9 weeks combined. So, and Barron put that all together in 1 game. So, Rashawn Gary, in my opinion, I think needs to be straight up benched next weekend, albeit injuries. If injuries kind of come, which I hope they don't, then sure, throw him out there. But I hope he does not see the field next weekend because he has just not provided any sort of anything. It's terrible. So I'm with you, King AJ. Appreciate you for always tuning in. You are the man. Same goes for you, Nick. Appreciate your question / comment. What else we got, Aaron? Bears or Eagles? I want Chicago, Aaron says. Aaron, this has kind of been a back and forth one for me. Going into Chicago and ending the Bears season would be a chef's kiss, right, to what otherwise has been a pretty disappointing year for us. On the other hand, the Eagles have not really looked like a very good football team over the course of the past month. They have still been stacking some wins, but they've been some pretty ugly wins. Not that, that even matters. They're winning. But what concerns me is the Bears offense seems to really starting to come together and play well. And at the same time, our defense is, as we all know, just falling apart. So I think for us to have any chance against anybody, Jordan is going to have to play like we know that he can. And Matt is going to have to call the game to let him sling it all over. So if I had my choice, it would be Chicago. The road trip is easier, right? We're used to going there every year. The flight is probably an hour long, maybe. The logistics is easier on the guys. We played them twice already, so there's the familiarity there. And we all know the Bears always collapse when it matters most. So give me Chicago next weekend. And if that's the case, this week will be one for the ages as far as content goes. We have only played the Bears twice in the history of the NFL in the playoffs. And we lost the first time back in the 1940s, I believe. Was it 1941? And then the second time, we, of course, beat them in the NFC title game en route to Super Bowl 45 back during the 2010 season. So a third matchup would be pretty legendary, my man Trevor. We want the Eagles or Bears. I am going Bears for sure. So, all right, guys, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always love talking Packers with you guys. Hit me up on social media at GBP Daily. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Any sort of interaction helps myself and helps the page. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you.